Robots will soon be rolling out across Pittsburgh. The city's partnering with Kiwibot to launch a pilot program with local businesses to deliver food, medicine, and books. And joining me now live over Zoom is Karina Ricks, the Director of Mobility and Infrastructure. Karina, thank you for talking to us tonight.
Sure, thanks for having us.
What problems do these delivery robots hope to solve?
The program is really twofold. So one is that certainly during the pandemic, but even before that, we saw a dramatic rise in e-commerce or deliveries that you will place online or place over the phone, and then they will come to your personal residence to bring these. When those deliveries are made in a full-size vehicle, that's a tremendous amount of carbon. That's a tremendous risk to other street users. It uses a lot of curbside space for very, very short distance trips.
So what will they have on board?
So initially, this is, again, just a pilot. So we're partnering with the Carnegie Library, so they might be carrying books. We're partnering with Wilson's Pharmacy, so it might be non-prescription deliveries from a pharmacy. And we're partnering with taquitos, so it might be tacos or some other kind of something good to eat.
What neighborhoods will see these little robots rolling around first?
So Bloomfield and Garfield is where we're doing the pilot. So most of these deliveries will be concentrated in those two neighborhoods alone.
Okay. So how does it work? The people that are on the receiving end of the tiny robot, they don't book the little robot, right? It's just the entities that are putting the stuff in them? That's
right. So it depends on who you are contacting. If you're talking to Wilson's, you'll call them up on the phone. They will take your order over the phone, and then they will tell you that this little device is on its way. And then they will call you when that device is at your front door. If it's taquitos, you might place that order on Shopify, which is their online ordering app, in which case you'll get a link and you'll be able to track when this device appears at your door. So it varies depending on what the business plan of the partnering entity is.
So the city always gets pushback anytime anything else with wheels gets on the street. So how will the city monitor if the robots follow the rules? How can we prevent people from stealing the tiny robots and trying to take their own little baby robot home?
Sure. Well, the latter, the robots do have a tracking chip on them. So if they do go where they don't belong, they will be found again. So don't advise that. They also are remote controlled. They're not fully autonomous. So there is an operator on the other side of that who may make themselves known and tell you to put me down if they come in there.
Stop touching it. Yeah.
On the former question, this is a pilot that's being commissioned by the city for the purposes of understanding how these devices work in the real world, in the dynamic space of our streets with other street users. So we will be monitoring closely the findings of this. We will have that window into what these devices are doing. This is all for research to really understand how these things operate in the real world. So we will be tracking that very, very closely so that we can make policy around these, because as we know, the state has legislated the ability of these devices to operate without local intervention. So we're trying to understand as a locality, what do we need to do to prepare for that arrival that is not controlled by the city?
What works and what does not work? Well, the little robots soon to hit the streets. Karina, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Sure, thank you.
You're welcome.